bit unfocused already. You know how usually when people like start their channels, they have this like intro video, like welcome to my channel. Yeah, we're not gonna be doing this here because the channel's been here for a while, so it doesn't really make sense. Instead, as voted by most of you guys, we are going to be doing monthly favorites. If at any point of this video you hear something that's like someone banging,
Can you go away?
Anyway, in this monthly favorites video, I'm gonna let you guys know things that I found awesome this month. Let it be in anime, music, food, or whatever the hell. So, let's get started. First thing, anime. There are two animes that really caught my attention during the month of August. One of them was Darwin's Game. If you are acquainted with Mirai Nikki, it follows sort of the same basis, but you know the concept of like controlling things through your phone, but instead of a diary, it's an app. And you sort of like choose to be part of it. Well, yes, you can either choose to be part of it or sort of get tricked into it and you end up being part of a survival game. And yes, people die like in Mirai Nikki, but it's supposed to be more of a game rather than a competition to be a new god. So there's this kid that gets like invited by one of his friends, and it's the whole story of him getting like acquainted with how the app works and how the game works and meeting new players and building a guild and so on. It's not an isekai, just pointing that out. It might sound like it, but it's not an isekai. The second anime is Detroit Metal City. If you are a person that's very like picky about how certain animations look and how they sound, you might not like this because, I mean, quoting a friend, sometimes it's square, then other times it's triangle, and it sounds like they taped it on a phone and they didn't really want to do it, and it's like a lot just overall. So what I caught from it is that it's sort of like a depiction of the Japanese stereotype for the metal industry and how like American managers are. It is a bit weird, and all of the things that my friend pointed out are like pretty much true, but I personally found it hilarious, and one of my other friends also found it hilarious. But yeah, if you're not picky, very picky about like animation style, you might like this one. And if you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you will most probably like this one. Number 2 is music. When it comes to music, it's a bit tricky because I don't really know how to explain it, and apparently saying things like,
"Oh, this song is really nice. It sounds like very sharp, like a knife,"
doesn't seem to be a very acceptable way of explaining it. This month, there were 2 songs and 1 album that were added to my list of 20 songs that I'm gonna listen and repeat throughout the whole month. The first one is, I think you're supposed to say an image hake or just an image, I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it here, by Pizza with Pineapples. I don't know what I'm gonna say. This guy is a genius, like, that's all. Song number 2. I know it's not exactly from this month, but I really liked Cinnamon Spoon from the album Avocado by The Other Room. It's just like, has such a nice vibe to it, and like Tegi's voice is just really good. Honestly, it's a song that I would actually sit down and try to learn how to play. Last but not least is the album Cinnabar by Muga. It's just groovy and nice. It has like a very energetic vibe. It feels very sunny. Like that's the best way I can put it. It feels very sunny. And I don't know, I personally really like to hear like the one in Spanish, but that's just like my personal preferences.
Movies.
When it comes to movies, like, I'm gonna point this out right now before anybody decides to do that in the comments. I am always late to movies. Don't even come at me, I already know. Because my favorite movie for the month of August, even though it's not from August, is Joker. Yes, I've only watched Joker like maybe 2 weeks before I filmed this video. No, 2 or 3 weeks before I filmed this video, more or less. Changes in lighting, the way they use the background music to like give you a heads up before shit's about to go down. That was like really well made. I really like that they added the contrast between you not really being able to control your laughter even when you're miserable, and it sort of like brings some sense, some light into how the character is, the way it is. And honestly, man, Phoenix is something else. Food. Yeah, I found out that there's this instant noodles thing. I think it's called East West. That is made like namatola, and it has like really nice prices for the amount of noodles that are in the package. They have like different levels of chili and different flavors, and it's overall really nice, but not something I would advise you to eat more than once a week because the sodium levels are so fucking high. I think like per pack it's about 60% of your daily intake, and if you're like very meticulous about that, you might not want to add this to your normal diet. But besides that, like, the flavors are really nice. I personally like them quite a lot. Another thing that's nice from this month is that I learned how to do hot oil, like Chinese hot oil. There's a part where they put the oil in a bowl with chili flakes and it sizzles, and it's just like really fun to watch. And that was basically the only reason why I decided to learn how to do it. Also, it tastes really good and it smells really good. Besides that, this month I found out that there's this thing called singing in cursive, and it is as weird as it sounds. It's just like very yeah. Finally, after all this time, I actually managed to plant mint of all things. Well, mint sort of like grows like weeds, but you know, and it's looking real pretty. I do need to get some pots for it. So if you guys know like different places where I can buy pots besides Mika, you can leave it down in the comments and I'll check it out. Also, speaking about leaving things down in the comments, I have 2 new canvases. So if you guys want to suggest things for me to draw, I would be very open to that. All you have to do is leave in the comments what would you like to see, and I'll do it. Please leave the boobs out of the question, because like, before I leave, I thought I would finish the video with a little note, I guess. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you are allowed to leave if you want to. I know it sounds like a bit weird without context, but as we grow older, the people around us talk less and less about boundaries. And I'm not talking about consent, but psychological and emotional boundaries. The I'm uncomfortable with this, that I don't want to be here type of boundaries. You are allowed to leave if you want to. Most times we buy into this it's not socially acceptable thing. But if you are in a family gathering, if you are in a friends gathering and you really don't want to be there, there's nothing left to make you stay. You don't have to stay. You need someone to pick you up. Talk to that person beforehand. Like, listen, this and that might happen. If I get uncomfortable, can I call you? Can you like pick me up at any time? Are you okay with that? And if the person gives you their consent for you to do that, do it. You don't have to stay somewhere if you're not comfortable where you are. You want to leave, you go up to them, you tell them, it was really nice being here, but at the moment I'm not feeling well, I'm not feeling comfortable, and I would like to leave. Thank you for inviting me. You're scared that the people around you are not going to understand. You know they're going to get mad. Well then, maybe those are not the people that you're supposed to be hanging out with. On that note, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And I'll see you next time. Bye. I never realized how loud my neighbors are until I have to actually film something that requires sound. Hey.